I was having coffee with a friend this morning and we had a really important topic that we were chatting about. And I think it's really important to kind of keep going with it, mainly because a lot of what brings me joy is talking about things. And I think I haven't been pressing the record button enough on my own life and kind of just letting my own old self-talk get in the way. So at coffee this morning, I was reminded through a really good friend who has a great way of just mirroring back to me things, which first off is super important. I hope that you all have somebody that can sit there and hold that space for you. But I was kind of venting to her about some of the family drama that I've been going through lately and the boundaries that I've kind of let slip, which I didn't even realize I had let slip because I was trying. Again, it's like this thing where when it's ingrained in you for so long that somehow we're responsible for other people's happiness, it's really, really hard to undo that. And she told me, she's like, your heart, she's like, I can just see the heaviness on your heart right now. And I felt that. I didn't feel it until that moment because it's such a regular feeling, that heaviness of the weight of trying to please, to not be authentic, to kind of tiptoe around specific relationships and feelings in order to keep the peace. And when I was talking to her about that, I realized that I, myself, even though I've worked really, really hard at maintaining my own peace, it's hard when there's people involved that you really care about and you really love. And the important thing to remember is that nobody has it figured out. And we really just have to keep moving forward in our own truth and our own life. And the people that are meant to grow and be enriched by your life are going to be there. There's no sense in, for lack of a better word, I guess, playing nice to other people if it means that you aren't truthful to yourself, or it's making more work for yourself, or you're just feeling drained and tired. And that's exactly how I've been feeling lately. I've been feeling drained and tired, worried, anxious, all these feelings that I don't really need or want or like. But because it's so ingrained in that old programming of you gotta make people happy, you have to put others in front of yourself, you're being selfish. There's all these things that, I've heard my whole life. And I take these steps forward in my life. And I kind of look back and make sure everyone's okay with it. Okay, I'm going to do this, but, I better, your breath kind of stops. So for me right now, talking about this is my own way of reconnecting with my true self. And my true self is moving forward in life and creating. And life is just, it can be so many different things. And of course, there's going to be hard times. And that's part of it, but it doesn't have to be so hard. Our commitment needs to be to our own hearts, our own growth. And that's how we move forward. In our own power. We can't keep giving our power away. I can't keep giving my power away to the past, to those old patterns, to somehow just keep the status quo. Like, what the hell does that even mean? Yeah, life is just meant to be explored. Our hearts are meant to be open. And when those two things are in vibration with each other, when our hearts are open and our minds are open, it's like that's the good, gooey, chocolatey ice cream stuff right there. It's the it's what changes things. It's how we change. Is we get a feeling of that warm goodness in our hearts and in our souls and in our minds. And we want to explore that. So this morning, having coffee with my friend, I didn't realize that I had hit a detour in that exploration, that I was reverting. We're going to revert. That's the only way we can realize, like, oh yeah, I need to keep moving forward if we don't have these moments of reflection in our lives. There's no growth. So I'm not saying I did something wrong or I've been doing something wrong. It's just an observation that I've been working really, really hard to try to keep peace. And there's no such thing as keeping peace in other people. The only thing I can do is keep peace in myself. And for me, it's doing what I love to do, which is this. So I guess if you guys are feeling a certain way, if you're feeling like maybe this has hit a trigger of some sort, like, well, I have to make other people happy. My home won't run the way it needs to run. I won't be the good person. I won't be the good daughter. I won't be the good wife. I won't be the good mom if I start putting my happiness first. If that's a trigger for you, and it was for me for a really long time because I just didn't believe happiness was something I could achieve, then take a moment and sit with that. What does it mean to give away your happiness? What does it mean to make other people happy, but not yourself? Is it a power thing? Is it a control thing? Where does it come from? For me, I know that when I am tiptoeing around trying to make everybody happy, it's a control thing, right? It's a control of, maybe I can somehow control the outcome of the situation. Maybe if I am a certain way, if I dim down my own light, if I edit the things I say and the things I do, that somehow I'm going to make other people around me happier. And that, as I say that, it's like, oh, that sounds exhausting, and it is exhausting. And if I can change that a little bit, take a deep breath, right? Well, if I can make myself happy, if I can control myself, what would I do? There's like this ease in that. There's life in that. There's a breath in that. There's a pause in that. And the reflection tip I would give to anybody that's still listening to this after 10 minutes, it's that happiness is a word, and the feeling is contentment. So where in your life can you feel contentment, and how can you get more of that in your day-to-day? How can you find contentment within your heart, within your mind? Like, what does that look like? And that's how I'm going to leave this.